Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 2.36% to 39,259. Ethereum up 6.43% to 27.66. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our global extended family. I appreciate you being here. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, and we know many people throughout the world are, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. There is always hope, and the sun will come out again. Rule 570, psychology sets profitability. Being inside the crypto market is often parallel to a firefighter fighting fire. Firefighters have knowledge and skill. They approach the fire in a very specific way. That's exactly what crypto technical analysts do. They scientifically track investor attention, and that's tracked by reality, which is price, not future promises. What we do as crypto technical analysts, we understand that we must move into a zone of scientific analysis. We mark up our charts. We look outside the crypto market. We then look back inside the crypto market for timing, understanding that opportunities reset daily. We have a philosophy of real wealth. We've mastered emotional control, and we know there's a big difference between showy, flashy riches and lifelong, intergenerational wealth. And we go for the wealth side of things. And then, of course, we get into the buying and selling using many specific methods. Crypto technical analysts know that there's a difference between losing money, making money, and keeping money. As professionals, we buy on red, sell on green, three-way decision making. We use probability and rules as our friend, and we move away from all forms of certainty. Certainty is all about being right. You cannot be right in such a volatile market as crypto. You can only use probabilities to guide you. There are rules, however, many rules. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin is currently trading at 39,194. We can see we're just starting to get above this 38,853 level, but there's a lot of resistance playing up at the 39,832 level. When we get above this level, when the institutions do their stop hunting, they'll probably end up liquidating a lot of shorts. If they do that, we should push through the 41,384 level. However, there is no certainty inside the crypto market. That's why we've got to mark up our charts. We can see there's a very good level of support playing through here underneath the current price, which will activate at 38,853. If we lose this support, we would expect to move down to 37,231. If we lose that, we would expect to move down to 34,219. Rule 114, markets penalize certainty. Just a couple of days ago, when Russia invaded Ukraine with its peacekeepers that it sent in to keep civil order, what we saw was a massive dump in the US stock market. This green line here is the NASDAQ 100, and also inside crypto, we saw a turning around because there was a tremendous amount of support at this 34,219 level. One thing that happened, when people absolutely back certainty, things can turn around quickly and we can get technical violations to the downside or to the upside. We just have to look at how serious this issue is, and that's what I want to go through with you today. Because crypto technical analysts deal with probability, we always make in advance integrity-based choices on what we will do. And integrity means that if you make a decision and you draw a line in the sand, you will follow through because your word is it means something and you'll act on it. This is really important in the crypto space as well as in life. Very few people have that level of integrity where they draw a line in the sand and they mean it. Crypto technical analysts mean it when they draw a line in the sand because they have a default reaction of kindness. When we have a look at making in advance probabilistic choices, you must know what you will do if it goes down, if the price of your beloved alts goes down, goes up, or goes sideways. Have a three-way strategy. This is in stark contrast to normal retail thinking, which is always caught off guard because price tends to go all over the place in the crypto market. Looking at the fear and greed index, we can see there's a lot of fear in the market at the moment. There's a lot of uncertainty, and we're getting a 27 out of 100 reading. Professional traders and investors look at these massive fear readings as buying opportunities. Unfortunately, retail investors and traders look at them as selling opportunities. Professionals buy on red and sell on green. Retail sells on red and buys on green. It's quite easy to see that you could get caught in the wrong cycle. The markets are pretty quiet at the moment. There's only been about 175 million of liquidations over the past 24 hours, occurring to about 53,500 positions. If we look over the past 24-hour period, we can see that about 68% of liquidations were short liquidations. And if we go down, we can see how longs and shorts can get liquidated around the same times. This is why hedging is very, very dangerous in the crypto market, and using any form of leverage can actually wipe your account out. There is a strong association with futures open interest and Bitcoin's price, and we know Bitcoin moves the crypto market. If Bitcoin goes up, your beloved alt has a 99% probability of going up with it. If Bitcoin comes down, your beloved alt has a 99% probability of coming down. What happens typically is when people just first join the crypto market, they don't pay any attention at all to Bitcoin and even less to the stock market. And unfortunately, the stock market's gravity will impact Bitcoin's price. This is something to be aware of. Now, how do we look at this particular chart? What we basically see is futures open interest is on an upward trajectory. It's still going up even though it's lost one of its supports. It has the potential to turn around and rally. But what is actually getting in the road of this? This is where Rule 225 is really important. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. A lot of people think that cryptocurrencies are independent of the stock market, the bond market. They are not. Cryptos are tiny. They're like a little baby in the financial ecosystem. But one thing going in crypto's favor, it is very early in its adoption cycle. Crypto is the ownership layer of Web 3.0, the future evolution of the internet. It is something absolutely to be involved with, and it's going to be growing for decades to come, and it's literally just starting its adoption cycle. We need to look at the US markets, because if we don't, we just don't understand what's happening to Bitcoin. For example, when we go back to Bitcoin, you can see this green line is the NASDAQ 100. You can see it's just following. This is really important to understand. Not many people do. And of course, because they don't, they break the rule and they lose money. We saw a really large uptick in fear, followed by a collapse in fear. That drove prices up, but we are still under resistance. Please bear that in mind. We're not out of the woods here in terms of the stock market itself. We saw bond prices actually collapsing below that particular support line. We can see bond yields on the way up. The US dollar absolutely spiked, and gold tanked, but gold is in an upward trajectory in terms of price overall. Gold is very war sensitive and very pandemic sensitive. It's a geopolitical risk asset. So far, Russia has driven the price of gold up, and that must be great for Russia because it has huge gold reserves. But one thing we see is the price of oil coming down. This is really important. When the markets have certainty, they often inverse. But that is just short term. Please be aware of that. I've seen it so many times over my 3 decades plus inside financial markets. Things look to be going well, and then all of a sudden there's a rug pull on the market. Just keep aware. A major global concern right now is Ukraine and Russia. We can see that the fighting is still continuing, with Russia claiming various parts of Ukraine. The world has been basically talking about sanctions to stop Russia from invading Ukraine, but Russia is not really paying too much attention to it. It's just keeping on going. That makes a lot of sense from a resource perspective. Ukraine is very resource rich, and it has one of the largest armies in Europe. By military strength, Ukraine has the 21st largest army. Russia has the second largest army. Just think about it. Russia takes over Ukraine. It gets all its people. It gets all its equipment. It will become substantially larger as an army. Maybe the reason that Vladimir Putin is not really caring about what the world says and just going and invading Ukraine and ignoring sanctions, he may have larger goals. When we look at the Russian Empire in 1914, it included Moldova, Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. If, for example, Putin wants to reclaim the Russian Empire in 1914. And hey, while you're at it, Putin, what about the rest of Europe? Why stop there? If Putin does that, we really need to rethink how we're going to do things. Sanctions may simply not be enough. We spoke previously about the book, The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu 2,500 years ago. One incredibly important thing. Chapter 7, Maneuvering, Deceive Your Opponents. That is kind of what's happening now. Supposedly, Ukraine and Russia are discussing the time and place for talks, says Zelensky's spokesman. Not long ago, Putin was meeting with world leaders to discuss not invading Ukraine, and then he said, well, these two separatist regions, I independently recognize that they're independent. And then he sent in Russian troops to maintain peace, all the time saying he wasn't going to invade. What is the truth of the matter? He was just using deceptive tactics, like Sun Tzu said. The Guardian, in the article Sanctions Against Russia at a Glance, it has a very good analysis of the amount and number and type of sanctions that are being leveled at Russia. Basically, a sanction says, I'm going to fine you, I'm going to restrict you, I'm not going to supply certain things. Potentially there's a larger game playing out. We must be mindful of this. Looking at the market, the Russian market, what we saw is the Russian market basically falling off a cliff. It's done a bounce. Why did it do that bounce? It's about Rule 217. No stock market, including the Russian market, can escape the US stock market's gravity. When we saw the US stock market rallying, that was an indication that global markets, on average, all around the world would rally as well. And that's pretty much what every market did. When we look at Bitcoin, you can see how closely Bitcoin follows the Nasdaq. This is really important stuff to bear in mind. A lot of people say that all the markets are disconnected. This is a very early on view. When you've been in the markets for decades and decades and decades, you'll change that perspective. You'll understand that's simply not the case. If you're in crypto and you don't look at US market activity and global events, you'll get stuck in a position and not know what's happening. But there are many things that impact Bitcoin's price, and we know that we look at Bitcoin only because you want to look at your beloved alts and say, beloved alt, which way are you going? And you get that answer from looking at Bitcoin. Can we see if that is actually true? Look at Bitcoin's gravity. Look at how Bitcoin is coming down. The blue line is Bitcoin's price action. What does this alt do? That's Ethereum. It follows Bitcoin's gravity. What is Binance Coin doing? Following Bitcoin's gravity. XRP, following Bitcoin's gravity. Cardano, following. Solana, following. AVAX, following. Luna is following, but it has some divergence, but it's still following the directional movement. What about DOT? Following. Doge, following. SHIB, following. Matic got some divergence, but still following. CRO, following. Litecoin, following. Chainlink, following, some divergence, but still following. NEAR, some divergence, but still following. What about Uni? Following. Decentraland, following. Cosmos, bit of divergence here, but still following. Bitcoin Cash, following. Algo, following. FTX, following, or FTT. Stellar, following. Ethereum Classic, following as well. Many people simply don't believe that Bitcoin has as much power as it has. I'm taking you through very quickly to show you Bitcoin is the center of the crypto universe. Veracity, following. Icon, the blue line, following Bitcoin's gravity. IOTA, also following. Rose, following. Loopring, following. YGG, following. A little bit of divergence with CRV, but following as well. CHR, following. Hopefully that unequivocally proves Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. And hopefully looking at the directional movement, or what I've termed directional correlation, between the NASDAQ, that green line, the NASDAQ, and Bitcoin, we can see a positive correlation. As Bitcoin moves up, it's because the stock markets are moving up. When the stock markets move down, Bitcoin moves down. It's not always 100%, but it is very, very high. Please let me know in the comments what you think about the Russia situation. Will Russia simply stop? Why would it stop? And let's discuss a little bit about what the potential incentives or disincentives Russia faces to actually stop. If it does lead to war, of course, that is a really problematic situation. That's why I did episode 442, How Markets React to War, and Smart Money Secrets They Don't Want You to Know. I went through World War I, World War II, the Cold War, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf War, and also looked at the Great Depression, just to give you a completely different perspective, one that very, very few people know about. One thing that you may like to think about, if you're finding that you have no extra cash, but you have some things in profit, you may want to actually load up on a bit of dry powder. That's not a bad idea. In terms of if a war hit and it pulled the entire world into that war, you would want to look at cryptos that had good staying power, that had a reason to live and have shown resilience over time. Of course, Bitcoin is the absolute best one, no question about it. There are a lot of choices for crypto investment. There are literally nearly 18,000 cryptos in the crypto market. If you think about it like that, when you come to putting your hard-earned money into a crypto in such a turbulent time as this, I think that the best thing that you can possibly do is to pick projects that will be around and that are backed up by institutional money as well. That will always give you some safety. It's helpful to understand that ETFs, countries, public companies and private companies, own about 1.525 million Bitcoin at about $61 billion. Bitcoin is not going away. If we have a look at Grayscale, we can see Grayscale has Bitcoin and a number of other cryptos. That could be something that guides your decisions. As you do your research, please bear in mind Rule 444. which is a very appropriate rule for this episode. Episode 444, ignored tips, advice, and marketing. If you're getting your selection of cryptos off Twitter or Discord or any other public site, please don't. The key is to be able to understand and analyze how the reality of a particular crypto works, and that's what crypto technical analysts do. They scientifically track investor attention, and investor attention is measured by price. Price is the reality. The future promises may or may not happen, but price is happening now, and that's what we need to deal with. All investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, so having an understanding of how to trade is absolutely vital for your financial health. I'll give you a couple of tips about what not to do. If you're buying green and selling red, you'll in all probability lose money. If you go all in or all out, what we call the light switch effect, that is a recipe to lose money as well. If you're addicted to the news or to indicators, if you must have certainty, if you're getting stressed out and getting sleepless nights because of these things, if you're worried about losing money, all of those things will actually get you into trouble in the crypto market, and indeed any market. For example, when I see green like this, I'm looking to sell, not looking to buy. Crypto technical analysts understand how to make money. They buy on the red, they sell on the green. They make three-way decisions. They understand percentage movements. For example, if something is $10, it goes down to $5, that's a 50% loss. But if it goes from 5 back to 10, that's a 100% gain. What we do as crypto technical analysts, we buy that red as price is coming down. And we know that what we're putting our money into is pretty robust in the first place. The other thing, that we don't have any addiction to certainty. We know the market is inherently uncertain, and all markets are. Instead, we use probability and rules. We have knowledge and skills, and we invest in our education. If you would like to become a crypto technical analyst, you can pop across to www.cryptotechnicalanalysis.org. The link is in the description of this video. I'd suggest looking at the testimonials section to get a bit of an understanding how various people have found the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, where basically what I do is to give you the insights that I have gained over 30 plus years in financial markets, and also coming from an inventor's background, I give you an understanding of the CTKS method, which is a method specifically designed to replace candlestick and candle pattern analysis, and it is designed specifically for crypto's exponential price action. As a former lecturer in statistics, both first and second year, I also make the learning really fun. If you would like 80% off the masterclass, just come across to the ambassadors section. CTKS ambassadors have attained the highest honor in crypto technical analysis. They have a very special discount code, and you can reach them directly from this page. I would suggest you only come to this page to get your particular link. Sometimes it's hard to trust social media links, but if you come in this way and you just go into a specific Twitter account, you can get that specific link. They will help you out. And they also mentor masterclass students. We've got a very beautiful community inside the masterclass as well. It's also probably helpful to know that we have a comment section underneath each video, and there's around 3,800 odd comments that are inside the community right now. That's just inside the masterclass, underneath the videos. As crypto technical analysts, we understand how incredibly important Bitcoin is. Let's move FOMO out of there. What we can see is the price is currently trading at 39,746. Where do you think Bitcoin's price is going to go by tomorrow? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and being part of our global KS family. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I have left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the link to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please seek out an ambassador to get 80% off. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.